Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been again a while since the last video. Ever since the sales were shit. If you think the car market is shit, yeah. If you're thinking yourself to get into this business, now is not the right moment to get into. Everything is shit. I don't know the reason. I'm not a market analyst or stuff like that, so I can start discussing and chatting about it because I'm not qualified for something like that. I just say it from the pure experience and what I see every day in the yard. So the sales level at the moment they're just completely rubbish, like really rubbish. Anyway, um, ever since last video or the previous one, I think I got a lot into painting and I just trying to fix stuff because I had nothing else to do. And today I will just show you how to paint wheels and two ways to paint wheels actually. We're gonna do a gloss black in 2K, in acrylic 2K paint. I mean actually some people will call it one-step paint. You just mix up the hardener and the paint and you just spray it and that's it. It's done. You don't have to put any lacquer in it, everything after. And second one will be a very really metallic sparkly silver, which will go on another set of wheels. That will be a normal base, like solvent base, and then we'll have a lacquer, fast curing lacquer as well on top of it. So stay with me, enjoy the video. It will be a bit longer, probably a bit boring in some places, just skip it over. And yeah, it will be a bit of a raw footage as well, and some explaining and stuff like that. Yeah, enjoy it. And yes, please subscribe that button, hit that hit that subscribe button. I'm not editing this, I don't have time to do it anyway. So yeah, let's start working on it because we have to finish it today, both of them. Alright, so now it's time to mix up the paint. So I'm using gloss paint from MIPA. It's an acrylic paint, OC Super Black. It's a 2K paint, so this means it's got a hardener. It doesn't need a lacquer. You just mix them up, put them in the gun and just paint them over. The thing is you have to be fast with these. You can't really, once you put the hardener down, you have about like half an hour to do it, otherwise it's gonna start harden inside the gun and inside the wheels as well. So now we're gonna wait 10 minutes. We're gonna wait for the wheels, for this primer to cure for about 10-15 minutes. Then we're gonna go with the paint. Thing is with these, you don't really have to do 2 coats of primer and stuff like that. I mean, if you're doing the wheels for you want to make them like perfectly flat and nice, this is up to you. We can spend the time and do them, but in my case I just want to make them nicer. They wear much better than they were anyway, and change the color, so they have been sanded too much anyway. So yeah, let's wait this. I will give them 15 minutes because it's not too hot today anymore, and then see you guys in a sec. We're gonna do the paint. This paint is 2-to-1, so this means it's got 2 parts paint and 1 part thinner, hardener, sorry. I'll mix up about 200 milliliters on the first. I think will be enough for what I'm trying to do, but just look at it. So we're gonna go 150 mils of paint. That's it. Come on. And we're gonna do hardener to 200. Oh, to 225. So I have 150, 175. Will be, I don't think will all fit into the gun in the first one. So let's go with the lacquer to 25. That's it. We're gonna mix it well. This is a really thick paint, you know, this one, and I have to be careful. I have to mix it really well. And if it feels, if you're using a gun, if it feels it's not pushing out of the gun, you can add some more, like 10% thinners. So what I will do now, actually that's what I will do. I have it there. I have some fast thinner, which will help out with the process as well. So I'll put another. Yeah, I'll guess it. So this is some 2K fast thinner. I will put just a little bit, like 40 grams. I think that will do, to make the paint a bit more easy to flush out the gun. So yeah, now looks like it's more fluid, and we'll have a better flow through the gun. Now, I'm using guns now. Obviously, if you want to use like spray cans, you can buy these spray cans with the 2K paint from your local paint shop. I mean, some of them will sell them, some of them will not. But the thing is, you have to get everything ready, so you can't go and buy the paint today and then wait a week, and then you can start working on the paint, on the wheels. You're gonna finish the wheels, everything prepped up, and then you will go buy the paint, wipe the wheels, and get cracking on it. Otherwise, they will harden up in the can, and you're wasting money. Okay, I think it's gonna take it all of it. I don't want to put it all of it, because you might flush out the gun. So we're gonna do this one here. We're gonna go do the first coat, and then we're gonna add the rest of the paint. Right. So what you have to do now? I have to do testing. So we have the pressure is full, my compressor is running there. Gonna make a test. So my pressure now is about 1.5 bars, or about 25 psi. So what I would like to do, crank it up a bit more. So this is like 2 psi, 2 bars, sorry. And now I have to test the fan. And we can see we have too much volume, way too much volume. So we're gonna right. So that's kind of it. Actually, I do have. See? Low volume. With I think a bit lower pressure as well, but we make some tests on the way. Now we're gonna start doing like a coverage coat, like a dusting coat, just to meet the paint with the surface. Remember, tiny coats means less chance of issues. There's chances of high build-up and runs, or orange peel. So there's nothing you can be bothered with orange peel. In your case, if you're doing a set of wheels for a car you're selling, you want them to make nice. But that's it for the first coat. Now we're gonna do the same on all four. We're gonna give it about 5 minutes flash time. Then we're gonna go with a bit heavier coat. Keep the volumes the same if you use a spray gun. Pressure, volume, don't change them, just go slower over the surface. You go to the second coat, but I'll show you in a second. Right, so let's go with the second coat. And why do I have such low pressure now? Let's keep it like that. Because I just dropped the... Right, let's crack on. Okay, so my microphone decided to not work on this video and I'm doing a voiceover. Now I'm painting this Mercedes wheels. The car is black, so I want to do it on a really nice silver color, and I chose this Extreme Sparkle Silver base coat. So it's a solvent base coat. This means it needs to be mixed up with thinners, and then it needs to be lacquered after as well. So on this particular occasion I mixed it up only, normally you should mix it up 1 part paint, 1 part thinner, but I decided to go only 2 parts paint and 1 part thinner because it was looking fluid enough. So it was my own decision anyway. Normally you should be doing as they say, you know, if they say 50-50, just do it 50-50. But being wheels now, you know, I said I'll give it a go. I can always mix it up more. That's the thing, you know, you can start mixing up, you can put less, and if it's not fluid enough or the gun is not spraying it, you can always add more thinner. If you go from the first for too much, you might be throwing that one away because it will be useless. in this condition. So anyway, let's get the gun ready. Check your settings to be sure that everything is fine. I always pray about like volume, low volume and high pressure on the wheels, especially because you have a lot of crannies and stuff like that to cover, so it's better to do it like that. Okay, so the gun is ready now. I'm doing some tests now to see exactly where the volume is. So as you can see, I have way up too much volume, and the pressure is high as well. Um, as you can see, the fan is about maybe half open. I'll reduce the volume a bit and start applying it. It's the same procedure like before. You just apply dusting coat, not too much coverage because you will build it up on the surface and the paint will runs, will make runs, so will look bad, ugly, and you might have to wait for the paint to fully dry to sand it down and then to apply it again. So you don't really want this, especially when you getting the wheels ready for a car you want to sell. So the main idea is to get everything ready and put it for sale as soon as possible. When you're doing the wheels for you at home is different. You can take your time as much as you want. You can test it, colors and stuff like that. But overall, it's the same principle. As you can see, the paint looks really, really nice. The thing is, what I like to do when doing like silvers and stuff like that on wheels, I would like to get a black primer so I can see the coverage. When you have a gray primer and you're doing a silver, the colors they're quite similar somehow. And if you don't have a good lighting, it might lie to you, and you might have some parts uncovered, but it's not the end of the world. You can go around many times with low volume and just spray it over until you get full coverage. And yeah, that's kinda easy. So I'm applying the base coat on all the wheels. I'll do 2 coats, and then I'll put the lacquer, which I will show you in a second. So I ended up turning the volume even lower and went around like four times on some of them to get a good full coverage, because on the beginning I had the volume a bit too high, and it was about to run anyway, so I left it to settle for a while. Then I went around it with like really just spraying over it, just dusting coats in order to avoid runs and get a good coverage. So now it's time for the lacquer. What I choose to use today is the MIPA CX11. It's a fast air dry clear coat. They say it will be cured in about 40 minutes. I doubt that. I don't know if it will be that fast, but overall it will be faster than the standard clear coat, which takes about maybe 2 hours until it just settles. This one should settle much faster. So it mixes up normally like other clear coats. It's 2 to 1. Application is like 2 or 3 coats with a 5 minutes flash time, maybe less. But anyway, you will see the results in a second. Right, and here they are. It does look amazing, doesn't it? Just look at it. Look how much shine and how much sparkle and how much silver. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be that nice, to be honest. Look, just look at it. Look, it looks like oven something. And the clear coat I was telling you about earlier, where's that one? Oh yeah. So this put together, I do recommend this, to be honest. This is, you can buy it as a 3-liter kit if you're planning to use more. Roughly, when a set of wheels you're gonna use probably about 200 mils, maybe 250, depending on the size of the wheels. And looks like it's curing really, really fast. So yeah, now after 2 minutes it's already like you feel you can add a second coat anyway. But yeah, they say it's like 40 minutes air dry at 20 degrees. Now it's about 15, I think, and the sun is gone. So yeah, we're gonna leave them overnight anyway, see how they look tomorrow. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. You're always free to send me a message or something if you want to have any questions and stuff like that. I'll always be happy to respond. And yeah, see you guys next time. What will be a video of how to set up your gun depending on of your working environment. So of course our working environment will be outside in a tent like mine in a really windy area. Sorry, in a really windy day. Probably from now on that will be the case, because summer is gone and the wind and the rain is back, so we have to find a lot of tricks and places of how to do the things right so we can get a decent paint. I'll never say it's a professional finish, but it will be decent, will look nice, we'll sell the car and stuff like that, will be decent. That's the whole idea of it. Anyway, see you next time.